Here we are back in the workshop. It was a really good trip and we got some really good material out. Got the rose quartz in the yard and we're actually just starting to sort through it now. We're finding some really nice pieces in it. We're going to earmark some of those to be exported. We have artists around the world that can fashion products like this. They do a really good job. We actually do some things ourselves here in Australia. We've got a great customer following. A lot of the people are chasing unique specimens that we actually do here in-house. So we're going to show you how we're going to take this piece of rough and we're going to turn it into a polished face. So after we've selected that bit of rough that we want to bring into the workshop and cut, we're going to put it into the rock saw, and this will be the first phase. This is where we're going to run the blade through and make our first cut. Next, we're going to head on to the grinding and pre-polish stages. That's where we're going to take that rock and we're going to put it onto the vibrolaps. We're going to take out all those grinding marks left by the rock saw, and we're going to get that surface so fine that we're actually going to get a satin finish. Then we can proceed to the polish stage. So the final polish stage is we're going to take that rock and we're going to put it onto a vibrolap again, but with a dry powder. That's going to move around for around 24 hours, and it's actually going to grind that surface so fine that it's going to get a mirror finish. And it's always the best part of the whole process. I've said it before, but it never gets old. Where you go along, you turn that rock over and you actually see what all that hard work was about. And this is just the same. So it's just one of those things when you naturally turn it over and you see its beauty. It's just amplified so much by that mirror finish.
While I'm hard at work in the workshop, you're going to find Mum, or Mama Sox as our customer know her, in charge at the gem shop. I grew up as a kid next to Mum's side watching her serve customers and busloads of tourists. And there's one thing I know, gemstones are in her blood as much as mine, and we make an awesome team. She's been in the gemstone industry for over 60 years and knows more than just about anybody when it comes to gemstones and rose quartz. And it's a stone she's directed people towards, but it's also a stone that really appeals to her as well.
Oh, when people come in the store, they're particularly taken with the colour of the rose quartz. The Australian rose quartz is quite unique because of the patterns that it has, and it also has very good colour. Rock Hounds, they are collectors, perhaps of polishing their own material at home. They pick out what piece they like, size-wise and colour-wise. They take it home and they cut and polish it, perhaps put it in a pendant. Other types of people that come into the store are looking for the metaphysical side, dealing with healing, relationships and love. Oh, I love rose quartz because it's a beautiful colour and it makes you feel peaceful.
When I'm in the outback hunting gemstones in 50 degrees Celsius, fighting the flies and broken gear, I'm reminding myself of one of the biggest rewards for all this effort. It's seeing what artists and craftspeople can transform the natural beauty of the stone into. I've formed a lot of relationships with different creatives over the years, but one of my most trusted partnerships is with one of my best mates, Bunny Bedi. Bunny knows just about everyone and everything in this industry, and we work together to understand what collectors, artists, and people who use gems like rose quartz are looking for.
So when I met Martin, we went out for a drink. It was just instant chemistry. He was like a brother from another mother. With his Australian accent, we always had a crowd. We used to talk about stones, and it was just like fun all the way. That was it. So I've been selling rose quartz for yonks. That was one of the most common stones that we sell. We get it from Brazil, Madagascar. And then Martin has sent me this Australian rose quartz that's like amazing color. We've cut it. It's come out really beautiful. I don't know whether you know this, but if you cut a cabochon, on a perpendicular C-axis, you see a star. And I'm excited if I can actually do some star rose quartz, because sometimes the inclusions are in such a form that you can actually see the asterism in the stone. And that's something that I would like to explore, and I'm crossing my fingers because I love that stuff. The pink color comes from microscopic inclusions of a mineral called jewellery. That's what gives it the pink color. It's a beautiful stone because the pastel shade is amazing. There was a piece that was sold for almost $550,000, La Madonna Rosa, the pink Madonna. So we're living in an era today of hardness. Softness, gentleness is something that we always need. And rose quartz is that exceptional stone that actually can help you with that. To bring that self-love, that peace, that inner feeling of you being content with yourself, it's the FLY gang. You know what FLY stands for? First, love yourself. I just met a healer called Summer, and she uses rose quartz a lot in her healing session because it's the stone of trust, the stone of love. The aura of rose quartz actually brings comfort to the person who actually is working with the crystal.
I use gemstones in my healing practice because I find that they have their own innate energies that can be really helpful for people. So some gemstones invoke a sense of empowerment or inspiration. Some of them can be used to ground a person, to kind of bring them back to earth when their energy's out here. A lot of times I have people that maybe need to say something to somebody and they're not saying it. So I can use a crystal to sort of like break up that energy that they're holding on to. So today we're going to be working with Linda in a Reiki session. And what we'll do is have her lay down on the table, get nice and comfortable. I might take a moment to really breathe into the space and into the energy to kind of open myself up to Reiki. And I'm going to be working as a conduit for that energy to go directly into Linda, into her body, to allow her body to start its own healing process. I'll be placing gemstones in places where I feel like they're helpful, especially rose quartz. We're going to be focusing on, in this session, a sense of self-love and confidence and inner beauty. So I'll be using rose quartz, especially in the heart chakra, and on the third eye to kind of bring that forward and invoke this sense of self-worth and love. So after I move up through the energy centers, I'll then go back and move down through them and kind of close her off using those symbols again to close off this energy to end the session. I love working with rose quartz for myself because it is super calming. It's not a very crazy or big energy. It's not very loud. But it's still powerful, it's definitely not subtle. And I love that it enables me to feel both a sense of external beauty, especially when you're wearing it, but also this internal sense of beauty and of knowing that I have something special to offer the world. It kind of speaks to me in a way that reminds me that I have so much to offer. And I love that about rose quartz.
So it's been an awesome little adventure, this rose quartz journey. We've found some good rock, we're getting it through the factory now. It's been awesome to see some of the polished items coming off. It's also given us a really good insight of how other people use the material and their ideas for it. It gives me a lot of incentive to go back and dig some more. I'll get up there soon, but I've got so many other projects on. How about you come along and join us and see where we end up next?